for joining us. Today I am talking with Martha and Jenny from Audacious Humans because they have a launch today. They are launching the zipped hoodies and they are super warm, super cute. So without further ado, let's go. How are you both this morning?
All right, I think.
Right.
How are you? We never quite know.
No. How was your night out, Sam?
It was brilliant. I was saying night out. I was in bed by 6 p.m.
Oh,
Fantastic.
that's the best
Or
time of
not.
night.
I don't know. You were okay with that.
I'm all right with it.
Was it good entertainment? What was it? Drag something?
It was a bottomless brunch with the drag act.
Oh, nice.
And the drag act was amazing. Way better than the bottomless brunch.
That's that's an outcome, isn't it?
Got some reclaimed means business vibes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Carry on the fun.
Amazing.
So you guys today are launching your hoodies.
I can just hide in this.
I've literally not taken it off, Sam.
I've actually washed mine.
I
mean, a bit.
No, I haven't. It doesn't. Don't lie. It doesn't smell.
It doesn't get.
But you just want to sink into it. Like it's just, and the pockets are at the right and they're soft.
Yeah.
And it just, so I'm just in my kitchen most of the time with my hood up.
It's a nice little cave, isn't it?
Hiding from the world.
Good place to be.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And when we wore it, because we got the package at club and we opened it up at club and we put it on and everybody was very excited. And my daughter was like, I need to wear it. She put it on and, she's 11, so it flopped all over her. But they're very excited that we need to get the kids' ones ready because,
Definitely.
there's demand.
Yep.
That's all good.
Yeah. I mean, it's great having it for the winter weather, isn't it? Because we didn't want to cover up our, audacious t-shirt.
I know, I don't have one today.
But, so we've made so many connections and conversations through having those. They've worked brilliantly in our community. Starting conversations, people that are aligned with us, people walking up to us from the street. We feel like we're these magnets now. And even when we're not feeling social, they're starting, kind of conversations, which is great. So I've had people stop me in the street at Make and Crate Club, kind of unloading my car, and going, what's that? And obviously
they look at the spelling,
anyway,
don't they?
And trying to figure out the AuDHD. Obviously, no one is quite comfortable in saying it. They're like, is it? Or we're like, no, just audacious. Audacious humans. Fine.
Audacious.
Yeah, audacious. So that starts a conversation to begin with. So that's doing its job. And then obviously the slogans on the back of the t-shirt. Like normally when we're at club, our kids choose to wear our t-shirts as well. So we've kind of got 3 children, 2 adults kind of moving in and out of cars and, kind of loading, unloading. And so we're quite visible in our local community. And when we went to the beach for our little photo shoot, that was just, us taking pictures of each other. But we were an absolute audacious spectacle, I think, weren't we?
But that's not unusual.
Yeah, like our whole family's kitted out, husbands and all. But yeah, people, again, just stopping and, kind of like asking us, what they're for. And then we very quickly find out that they're audacious as well. And, it starts conversations and we've had whole families buy them as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a whole audacious family. When I run a club on a Wednesday and I was wearing my zoodie and one of the boys was wearing his t-shirt. And when I got there and I was like, have I seen that before? and so we were twinning and he had a smile on his face because what we love about it is that, what we know about the neurotype, what we know about being autistic and being ADHD is often it's invisible and it might be invisible for your whole life like it was for us. And so you spend your whole life trying to be something that you're not really. You're masking and you're just trying to get through. But what we love about our t-shirts and our zoodies is that it gives you a way of being visible in the community and it gives other people a bit of a clue. So if you've got a child that is, doing a thing that looks a little bit unusual or, they're hiding their ears or they're whatever, it's like a signal to other people as well. It's like this is what's happening for them and this is what we're trying to do as a family is really make it normalized because everyone likes to feel like they've got a place. So that's what we love so much about it.
And my 79-year-old mum has also got an Audacious Humans t-shirt. I haven't got a picture of her in it yet, but I'll have to. And send it to you. So we'll have to do 3 generations of Audacious Humans, I think. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Starting conversations at her place, because she's not in a retirement home, but she's in, kind of like a sheltered, kind of like, accommodation. She's got a flat in a bigger building, but they've got like a shared lounge, and so it really sparks conversations with other people, whereas I don't think they would be even registering kind of conversations about neurodiversity. But when you look around the room,
yeah,
there's quite a few.
We're not saying
it's interesting.
We're not saying it's not visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm really glad we've gone for the bold designs, So we really didn't want it to be subtle. We wanted it to be upfront, and this is us. We want everyone to look and see and ask questions and kind of get involved. It's really about a community vibe. So I don't know if we should show our how big they're
quite big.
It's like trying to do a back one.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can see.
Yeah, look, I can line it up.
Yeah.
That's the back of yours. So Martha's has got the blue. Martha's gone for blue because that's kind of her
that's
colour.
my vibe.
And then I went for green. Ta-da! Because that's my vibe.
Yeah.
And the other one is black.
There's a black version as well.
I love the logo. I think it's fun, and it does spark conversation, doesn't it? Because I think when we made the t-shirts, when we originally made your t-shirts before you had a collection, and you sent me the logo because you've got the one with them never enough spoons on the back, haven't you?
Still wear that, love it.
Still wear it.
Yep.
And so as soon as I seen your logo, I was like, I love this. Somebody made your branding for you, didn't they?
Yeah, so that's Heather Sharp Creative. She's on Instagram. She's a local mum to us. We've found each other through One to Many, which is hilarious to me because it's a big group of people that kind of do that course. But I was teaching on a Wednesday, and we were talking about something, and she said something, and I went, what? And it was literally, we were both in the same cohort of One to Many, and I was there showing her son how to use Minecraft education. So that's how we met, which feels bonkers. But yeah, she's also raising and home educating now, or flexi schooling, I can't remember, her 2 audacious children. So we really got our brief.
It was really interesting to find out, though. We took Make and Create Club kind of market to a festival at the summer, and they were there, they turned up, and it was really interesting to hear from her daughter how she had helped with the logo. So she had helped to choose, the font and some of the, quirky designs that we use, and the zig character and, all the different bits. So we were having a chat to her. So we'd done a sensory party for her as well, hadn't we? So yeah, it was lovely to feel that it was such a family.
So, because people might not know what you do you want to just quickly tell everybody what it is that you do?
What do you do, Martha? Oh my gosh, what do we do?
No, we're both ex teachers. We're both parent carers. We both see the issues in the mainstream schooling and education system, and we both tried to shoehorn our children into systems that were not right for them. So we decided to create our own provision. That was the first step. And we basically facilitate an environment where PDAs and audacious children, so children who are autistic, ADHD, sensory processing, the umbrella of neurodiversity, they all kind of fit in there somewhere, where they come once a week, and we run a home education group. So we do a face-to-face group once a week. We're also starting up our online support. So we're looking to support parents, carers and educators to see that they can walk into their rebellious advocate era and throw away the societal norms and throw away everything you knew about parenting, and just really decide that what you're doing is the right thing for your children because they don't fit anywhere in the usual ways. And we want to really support people to find their power in that, I guess, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. And thinking about what's happening with the education system at the moment, I think there's just more and more need for this. I think, seeing statistics in the press about home educators, kind of doubling since COVID. But then when you bring your child out of education because that's not working, then a lot of the home ed provision out there doesn't work for our children either. So
neither do the SEND classes, neither do you find so many gaps in knowledge and so many gaps in understanding when you rock up to a provision that is not actually, they don't have all of the it's a really specific set of conditions that we create, I guess is the word, because if you've got a child who is a PDAer, they are on a cellular level living in a world of anxiety that most people will never understand. And you can say something to a PDAer in one way, and just your tone of voice can really throw them into a threat response. Yeah. So because we have existing we are PDAs. There's different presentations as well. There's internalized PDA, yes. There's externalized PDA, which is much more physical and visible.
Yep. That's me when I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, perimenopause, shall we talk about that? But, you know, we understand on a sort of a very basic level all of the conditions required. So we do have a lot of PDA kids that access our provision, and they come again because they want to. They no one's coercing them. And what we really want people to understand is that learning doesn't look typical when you're neurodivergent, and you can't necessarily give a neurodivergent PDA child a worksheet for them to work from. You need to find really creative ways of building in opportunities and invitations to learn, and that's what we're really good at. And we want to teach sort of parents and other educators how to see the learning when it doesn't look like a structured worksheet, or it doesn't look like a curriculum, or, you know, the fine motor. My background is in Montessori, so we kind of had to look at learning in a different way anyway. But yeah, it's really important because there's a lot of narrative going around that for some reason, if a child is home educated, they're not necessarily getting the same education as a child who's in school. And of course that's true, but actually the national curriculum is really limited in a lot of ways. And so the skills that home educated kids can come out with on a social and emotional level, even though people, we were joking about this before, say that I really worry about taking my child out of school because what about the social aspects? It's like, yeah, but it's actually not a natural environment to socialise with people who are all the same age. It's actually much more natural to associate with people who are the same interests as you, have the same likes as you, you know, you connect in different ways, and that's what being in the home ed community gives you. Yeah, so there's so many things. It could turn into a TED Talk, Sam. I mean,
but even just thinking about things like sensory equity for neurodivergent kids. That's if you think about kids in school, and, you know, the recent Bridget Phillipson invented target, I feel it is, of now making higher expectations for younger children in terms of phonics. So that means those kids are going to be kind of like sitting on the carpet or sitting in a chair, or, you know, going through much more formalised kind of learning to try and get those targets earlier. Whereas we provide sensory equity for our neurodivergent kids in our club. And actually, if you thought about classrooms in terms of that as well, it's not just going to help the neurodivergent kids, it will actually help everyone, because we know just in terms of child development that kids aren't ready to be seated and, you know, still, you know, and try and learn and access education at really young ages. So, you know, I think it can just benefit everyone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I would argue that school is not a right fit for any child.
It's not.
I just feel like there's such a spectrum of kids that are in a classroom that are all trying to read the same book and all trying to learn the same things, and it just doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't get, so even in a book club, if you were made to read all the same book, some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it. They're there is because they like reading.
Yeah. Well, I think school's really good at kind of getting that out of people. You know what I mean? Because you're almost shamed for liking things or not being able to connect with things in a certain way, right? Because in school, you all kind of have to work on the same thing at the same time. For the most part, I'm sure there is some differentiation because there needs to be, but generally speaking. But if you're looking at something sideways or questioning something, then you're seen as the one that's the problem because you're not, you're not compliant with what people need you to do. So I think it has a lot of impact in lots of different ways, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. I wish I had taken Lizzie out of school earlier than I did, because I was scared. So I think what you're doing is being that kind of bridge for people to be able to go, I don't feel alone.
Yeah.
Martha, and I've got Jenny, and I've got a support system. We've got this. Do you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what we hope we can be. Yeah. Because we know how uncomfortable it is. We know it's really scary. We both have experiences with all sorts of family, you know, estrangement in different ways, and you know, it can sometimes be a very pervasive impact into your life when you don't feel like you belong. And if it's within your family unit and you've got people telling you that your kid needs certain things, and then you've got your child telling you that that doesn't work for them, you have to really put your big girl pants on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really have to, but you have to really question why you're doing what you're doing. You're not just doing it because that was the way you were done. It was done to you. You're doing it because you're responding to the child in front of you, and you
can see the child.
You can see them, you know, and you're not pretending that they've got, you know, you're not pretending that they don't have these needs. You're really going, well, actually, I want to see you, I want to be there for you, and we're going to do this together. And that can be scary because society will tell you, and they'll question you, and they'll say, well, what about this? And they'll ask you endless things, and you do feel like you're being watched, but it doesn't have to be that you're doing it alone. So that's what.
I mean, our zoodies have started, you know, the magnets that we are, kind of drawing people towards us. Like we mentioned, like Reclaiming's business last week, where we actually got to meet you in person, which is so lovely.
Lovely.
So glad I got a hug.
You did squish.
But on the train on the way up there, we had our zoodies, you know, kind of layered over, you know, other stuff. They were great as jackets as well. When I was leaving my house at 5:30 in the morning to go get the train, it was freezing cold. So that was really nice. And then, we were just chatting, and we had our zoodies, and we had like another like AuDHDacious badge, and, you know, things that we were going to take to Reclaimed. And then this young lady kind of walked up to us and nearly walked past us, and then obviously heard what we were chatting about and saw the things, and kind of like we moved all of our things over, asked if she could come and sit down. And then we just heard the most, you know, and this is so many stories that we keep, you know, hearing about when we start chatting to people out and about. And she was on her way to university, but literally, you know, very quickly, as neurodivergent people do, told us that she was AuDHDacious as well.
We told her we knew she was when she started.
We got the vibes very quickly. No small talk. She started talking about, you know, do you do something to do with ADHD? And we're like, well, actually, it's AuDHD. And Jenny's like, do you kind of identify the thing? She was like, yeah, I'm ADHD. I was like, well, I got autistic vibes as well. And she's like, yeah, that's right. Well. Literally, that's, you know, 10 seconds, we're done, we're in. You know, that's the bridge over to,
we're not good at small talk.
To start in the chat. The story she told us was absolutely heartbreaking, wasn't it? It was awful. She's deaf. She wasn't getting the support she needed at her university, and surprise, surprise, she was
deemed as unteachable.
Yeah, told that she was unteachable as a child. Only got diagnosed the week before her GCSEs as AuDHDacious, and was told she was unteachable. They thought she was going to come out with nothing. The diagnosis totally spoke to her. She finally understood how her brain worked, and within a week she passed her GCSEs and carried on. You know, in the education system. And she was on her way on the train doing her makeup to go into a lab because, remind me what she...
She was doing biomedical engineering.
Biomedical engineering in a lab. And it was just like, that's exactly the experience that we're talking about. You know, she wouldn't have fitted into a special school, and she certainly didn't fit into mainstream school, you know, not being recognised as being AuDHDacious at the time.
And also, as she left us, she just said how much her family don't get it as well. And that's a really heartbreaking thing for us, because you know, you need that support when you already feel different. If your family sort of look at you sideways because you're not behaving in a certain way, or you're difficult, or, you know, all these labels that neurodivergent kids are given, it just breaks their hearts. So we, you know, we're trying.
But we hear this time and time again.
We do, all the time.
You know, so hopefully we can make some positive change. We're here to help families and help educators as well. You know, we know a lot about different systems. So our website is now live. I don't think that was up since we last spoke to you. So we've got our new website, so people can contact us.
We're working on a freebie for sort of, you know, the main little dipping your toes into raising rule maker, rule breaker kids. So we're going to parents. We'll be releasing that pretty soon. And we've got a series of webinars and things coming up in the works that we haven't sort of announced yet, but we're going to put it out there.
Watch this space.
The phone loved that.
It was really excited.
Why, and I know why, but can you explain to everybody why you chose the zoodie over a general pullover hoodie?
I mean, for us, I don't think my son would cope with putting something over his head.
My daughter feels trapped in hoodies. That's the words she used. She's like, she feels like she can't get out of a hoodie. So having a zip is super important for both of my kids, actually.
But it's the temperature regulation as well. So, you know, kind of like, you just don't know how you're going to feel. You just can't predict.
No.
Even if you look at what temperature it is outside, you can't predict how that's going to feel on your body for an audacious human.
No.
So having the option to zip, unzip, you know, without having to fully take it off, and, you know, being able to wear it in those different ways is really important for our community.
Yeah,
so
hugely important.
Yeah.
And I just like having a layer, like Martha knows. In the depths of summer, I've got a layer on.
Always.
She looks at me weird. I can't help it. I can't.
You're making me feel hot.
I know.
Stop it.
I know. So for me, it's just I've got something on my arms, and it's just, but then this can be open, and it's all, you know, it, like she said, it gives you a lot more flexibility than a hoodie. I mean, we would have done both, but we had to choose one.
Exactly.
The zoodies, because I've felt both next to each other, and I feel like the zoodies have got like a thicker, heavier kind of content to them.
Yeah.
So like it's like the kind of feeling of like a weighted blanket almost.
Yeah, weighted. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, they do feel like, I think that's what it is. They just do. They've got that lovely little, and the zip helps, right? Because you've got that extra metal weight in the front.
I love these little dudes as well.
Yeah, they're great.
But
they realize they have the little metal and they're smooth.
Yeah. So these have like literally turned into a fidget toy.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So I know that I don't want to keep you too long, because I know that you're going somewhere very exciting today, aren't you?
Got to pick some pumpkins.
We've got a Halloween special club tomorrow. So all the clubbers are going to be doing pumpkin carving, and then they're going to make pumpkins. This is going to sound gross, but it's funny. They carve a face in it, and then in the afternoon we put bicarbonate vinegar in it, and it makes them vomit foam because pumpkin guts. We call it pumpkin vomit. This is the kind of humour that these kids love, so we're just there for it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're going to make some pumpkins vomit and all sorts of other fun stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, loads of things.
Yeah, but we need to get the pumpkins farm fresh.
Yeah.
So we will be audacious pumpkin picking.
Yeah.
Later. We'll have to send some pictures. Apparently it's going to be chucking it down with rain as well. So hoods will come in straight up. That'll be handy. See how we get on. What's that?
Will you make different colour sick?
Yes, we do. Food
We
colouring.
always make rainbow coloured puke.
And sometimes I put shaving foam in it, and then it's like, because the kids, we use like little bottles of food colouring because they've got these fine motor skills that are not necessarily very controllable. They like squeeze a whole thing of food colouring in, and then it just, you know.
But favourite colours coming out of pumpkins is great to see. But leave some of the seeds in as well, because that's obviously in the guts.
Like textural.
Yeah, make it quite fun. There will be many pictures.
Sounds ridiculous, but it's quite funny.
Yeah, it's what makes us laugh.
Dangerous with knives.
No, we're going to use little kits and things. We've hammered nails into the pumpkins. That's a really good one as well. So if you like hammer something in and then obviously get them quite close together, then that could make your hole, as opposed to having to use a.
You just push the things.
Knife.
Yeah, you can hammer out a triangle and then just push it through with your finger.
We have to be quite inventive, you know, to find different ways of kids not hurting themselves.
Yes, we're very safe. Don't worry. We don't let them loose with nails and hammers. It's okay.
Can we just say as well about our code that people can use so they can get a discount? Yeah. So look on our Insta, go to your page on Something Profound, you know, and we can use the code
in the collab.
Absolutely, in the collab section, so that you too can get 10% off your purchase of t-shirts. Of course it is.
It's your code.
Audacious humour.
I know we should know that.
Yeah. So it finishes at the A, so AuDHDacious, and then it just misses off the end of humans. But yeah, basically come to our Instagram, make sure you've liked us.
Yeah.
Come over and have a look.
Go live on your profile, Sam, because we don't have enough followers. So.
We've got to get up to 1,000. We've got to do some chats. Chats online.
Christmas, you'll have 1,000 followers.
We'll get
amazing.
That's the goal.
Let's put it out. Definitely.
Hope you do well. We'll speak soon.
Thanks, lovely.
Have a lovely the rest of your Sunday.
Okay. We'll go and get wet.
We'll go get wet. And muddy.
Yeah. Woo. Sensory joy. Thanks, Sam. Lovely to see you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.